Hey there everyone, today we're gonna have a look at how to install and set up React Native in Linux. If you are new to the channel, I am Shadat Mukar, and on this channel we talk about Linux, open source, mobile app development, product reviews and much more. So if you are into any of this, do subscribe to the channel because I'll be posting a lot of content this year. Now let's get started with the installation. Head over to the official React Native website, that is reactnative.dev. For those who don't know what React Native is, it's a hybrid mobile app development framework through which you can create apps for Android and iOS using the same code. Let's head over to the guide. If you are learning React Native, this is the place you should visit first because you'll get the official documentation for anything you want to do in React Native. Let's head over to the environment setup because that's what we are going to do. We will not be installing Expo, we will be using React Native CLI. For those who don't know what Expo CLI is, it's a quick way to get started with React Native. It has many features and a set of inbuilt tools to help beginners get a hang of mobile app development. But if you are planning to create large apps or integrate native code into your app, then Expo apps will crash. So I just suggest, if you are trying to get industry ready, you go with React Native CLI. The installation might take some time, but it's worth it. So to install it, we first need Node, the JDK and Android Studio. First let's go ahead and install Node from the package manager. We have all the options here, almost all the Linux distributions are present here. Since I'm on Manajro, I'll be using Arch Linux. It's a simple command, so I'll just copy it and fire up my terminal, sudo, and then paste it. And it's installed. Now if we check Node-v, yes, we get the version. If you get anything other than that, then your installation might not be completed and you need to check again. We also installed NPM, which is a package manager. If you need to install any additional modules into your projects, then you will be using NPM. It's an abbreviation for Node Package Manager. Now let's go ahead and install JDK. We'll be using JDK 11 and I suggest you use OpenJDK and use JDK 11 because higher JDK create issues while building the app, and JDK lower than 8 are not supported in React Native. So let's go ahead and install it. So what are these? Let me explain them. JRE 11 OpenJDK. These are the binaries for JDK and JRE, Java Runtime Environment, and these two are documentation and source for the Java OpenJDK 11. Let's go ahead and install it. I'll put this command in the description below if you need a reference. Now if we check Java version, yes, we got the OpenJDK 11. You might need to set a Java home variable or according to your need, but since it's working fine in my system, I'll just pass. But I do need to set up it later for the React Native. Java works in terminal, but when we start using React Native, we will need to set a Java home, which we'll do later in this tutorial. Now let's go ahead and install Android Studio. We'll need to download Android Studio from the official website, which is given on the page. And it's downloading. We need to download it. Let me pause the video and resume after it completes. After downloading, extract it in your home folder. It will be something like this, Android Studio, and our application will be in the bin folder. Let's go ahead and fire up a terminal. You can use Shift F4 to fire a terminal inside a directory in Dolphin. Now let's give permission, executable permission, /LA. So this studio.sh is our application. So I'll just give it an executable permission. If you need a detailed guide on permissions in Linux, let me know in the comments below. I'll create a video on that. So let's do studio.sh. This will add the executable permission to it. If you go ahead and run it /studio.sh. After running Android Studio, we need to install these: Android SDK, Android SDK platform, and virtual device. You can skip virtual device, but after the setup, you will be presented with something like this. So to install our SDK, Android SDK is required for React Native. We'll be going in the More Actions and SDK Manager. This will land us at the SDK section. Since I have already installed it, but I'll guide you through how do you do it. You click Show Package Details in the lower right corner. This will open a lot of options here. We need to install Android 10 Q since it's what it's given in the tutorial. So we'll go ahead and install the Android SDK platform 29. Intel x86 Atom64 image. You can install this or Intel x86 Atom system image. Do remember to install the Atom64 if you are installing Intel, and x86 if you are installing the Google one. Now click Apply. Since I already installed it, won't apply anything, but if you click on that, it will start installing. Now click OK. And the Android Studio will handle all of the installation by itself. It might take some time. After installing SDK, we will be configuring the Android home variables. Let's go ahead and fire up a terminal. I'll be editing .shrc, but if you are on a different shell like bash, you'll be using bash rc and so on for other shells. I'll just copy this. By default, Android Studio installs the SDK in the home/android/SDK folder. If you have specified any other directory, do remember to change the Android home variable accordingly. Now let's go ahead and exit it. If now we need to run source.sh. This will rebuild the script, and now if we run echo $Android home, this will display our Android SDK directory. Now let's go ahead and test our application. Now I'll be running npx react-native init and then our app's name. This will be taking some time since I'm installing it for the first time. It will download and install all the required packages and modules for React Native to run properly. Let me pause the video and resume after it completes. And it's done. Now let's go ahead and go to our app directory and then run npx react native run-android. Since we are running for Android, we'll be using run Android, and the next time you run the app, you just need to run the npx react native start, unless you have installed a new module or you have created some changes in native code. Then you will need to rebuild the app. But if you are just changing the React Native code, the JavaScript code, and not installing and changing the native code, then you can use the React Native start. It will potentially speed up the installation process. I have connected a physical device To run the app on a physical device, we need to run adb devices. This will list all the devices and you need to turn on the development option from your device to run. If you are using an emulator, you don't need to do any of that. It will just launch the emulator. Now we need to run adb-s, then your device name, then reverse TCP:8081, then again TCP:8081. After that, we need to run npx react native run android to run it on our physical device. Now as you can see, we have this app installed on our system. We can make changes to the components accordingly, and this will guide you on how to do stuff around the app. This contains the basic, the styling, the layout, the component and other features. You can see to it, go through it, and this will help you learn React Native faster. That is it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video. Thank you for watching till the end.